なんとかなったみてえだな。畳みかける。これがスーパーサイヤ人3だ。
All right, gentlemen, what an amazing part 1 reveal. You could argue, or at least I feel, maybe the strongest part 1 we've seen from any celebration, and that's a pretty high bar to surpass, especially given the 6th anniversary has reigned just supreme. So we're gonna go ahead and do a community reaction because I'm curious if other people feel the same. Is an Ultra and a Legend the kind of hype you want to see? With the character picks great, Gogeta Blue controversial because it's the 2nd Ultra. And I'm not alone. I'm joined by the homie Goresh. We're just going to go through what your comments are. I asked here, what are your thoughts on the 8th anniversary part 1? Is this the strongest part 1 of any major celebration ever? What would you say, just starting us off?
Well, I don't know. It's tough to beat 7th anniversary part 1. That was pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, dude, it was so good they leaked it early because they knew we could not contain our excitement. They had to share it. They had to let us know.
I mean, it's very comparable to the 6th anniversary.
Yeah.
Both celebrations introduced very hyped characters, new mechanics across the board. It's similar because, like, I'm thinking back to, okay, from the start of the game, literally from day 1, people were like, oh, dude, I can't wait for fusing characters. Oh, dude, I can't wait for characters that can transform multiple times. So these are both anniversary part 1s introduced mechanics that are just like very long requests from people. So I don't know. I think I'd have to go with this one being a little better. But it's close. I think you can give it to either one. To me, it's more so just everything other than the characters that puts this one ahead of the 6th anniversary. There's just so much more going on in this one.
They're so generous. The pity being far more generous. The cashback on chrono crystals, I didn't expect that. But the cherry on top is 2 LF unique equips for 2 very hype characters. I mean, the 1% Zenkai as well. We already know an LF Zenkai is just a few weeks down the line as well. I mean, they went all in on this one. This is the super anniversary. This really should have been. If you put this as 7th anniversary part 1, okay, you got it. Like, I feel like people would just be crying tears of joy. People would start calling, Legends on top #1. Either way, let's see what people say. Isabra says yes, I agree. Trash Dinix. Broly is super nice. Gogeta, on the other hand, is super recycled animation-wise. 98% of his animations come from the yellow tag blues that turn into Gogeta, Ultra Gogeta Blue, and OG Yellow Gogeta with the same animation and a slightly different angle. I am going to have to disagree with that one. I'm sorry. I definitely disagree. They went with far more when it comes to what this Gogeta can do, but they also nailed the overall presentation. I mean, that I just don't agree. Maybe I'm not recalling the entire animation set because it was all so fast and it just happened and we're jumping between content, but I'm fairly certain they went with not only new attacks here, but if they went with something before, they presented it in a way that was so fresh, I wouldn't really argue it's just the same thing with a different camera angle, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can clearly tell that everything was redone. Like, they didn't just take, like, whenever you see criticism where, oh, they just used the same attack, but it's from a different angle. I mean, yeah, technically they did, but they reanimated it. Like, it's not like they just took the existing animation and they just like changed the camera angle. They remade it from scratch. And the reason why they're doing it this way is because those are the attacks that Gogeta actually does, right? They're not gonna, I mean, I guess they could make up, game original animations, which I think eventually they will have to do, but I don't know. The Stardust Fall is something we haven't seen in what, 7 years or something? Like,
it's been a minute, yeah.
Stardust Fall. So there's that. There's obviously, the ink art was really good. The cover change animations. We have the new kind of guard counter thing as well. So there's a lot of moving parts with this character. And I think it looks good. I do. I'm not going to deny that they used, the same attacks that he did in the other units, but that's just, Blue Gogeta doesn't have 1,000 hours of screen time in the movie. He's there for how long is Blue Gogeta fighting for, like 8 minutes or something? So,
yeah.
They have a limited amount of stuff to work with. Again, unless they decide to do kind of like Legends original animations, which I think they will do eventually. But I mean, I guess they just didn't feel the need to do that with this unit.
Yeah, I think something that really gets underappreciated is the amount of camera work these animations can do. Think about 4th Anniversary Ultra Super Vegeto's Ultimate. It's a punch, it's a kick, a zoom into his face, and a slice. Now look at what Gogeta is doing. It's a whole movie rework. Camera shots just panning everywhere. Dynamic, flowing with where the character is going. I mean, the camera work alone shows that they're really upping the bar. An example of like same animation and slightly different angle is the instant transmission Goku LF and the Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Hit. In the LF, there's a scene where he does a bunch of ki blasts that look a little bit static. Those are the same. Those are the exact same thing. That's what I would call same animation with slightly different angle. What they did here is just a total rework with much higher quality. So I wouldn't really call them the same, but like you said, there's sort of a finite amount of footage they could work with, but with the confines of what they had, this character's beautiful. I think this is worthy of not only an Ultra, but being an Anniversary Part 1. I think they nailed it.
You could, to a similar extent, you could actually make the same argument with Broly, because his LF is the Mouth Blast. I mean, it's the same LF that we've had in the game for 6 years, right? Or I guess 5 years, the blue one.
Yeah.
But they just added a bunch of different layers to it. And the thing I liked a lot about that LF animation is it, like, from the angle they showed, it was him in the low area. They really kind of played up. It was him shooting the Mouth Blast into the air, and you saw like the opponent just kind of being like air juggled from the perspective of him being on the ground. So you can tell with the dynamic area battles and all the different updates we've had, they're building on every update, right? Everything that they're adding to the game visually, all these different mechanics, the ground battles, it's all building on top of each other, and they're using it, I think, pretty effectively in these animations. So it's really, really cool.
Car. Sure, man. You can have image in question too. I like Broly and everything like the unique stuff every day of the week, and yet, yeah, another Gogeta Blue. Sure, he may be lame, but you'll break the game. He's hype, yes. Rathered legend-based Super Saiyan Blue instead of the guy from 4 years ago. The way that you presented it, sure, but I do agree that I would have preferred if the rarities were flipped. You could argue, oh, you know, then how is Broly going to handle his multi-transformation thing? Just shift it over to Gogeta, base to Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan Blue. So on that front, I agree. I think the rarities could have been flipped. But I'm still... everything lame? I know them remaking him as an Ultra is a little bit of a head-scratcher, but I still think it's a fantastic Part 1, right?
I mean, yeah, this is rage bait.
You think so?
Yeah.
Give me mediocre yellow so I can look good. Red Broly plat. So which is it, man? People were like, "Oh, we gotta patch up Red Broly. He's so cool. He brought the pillar. He has such a cool LF." Like now we're just saying that his competition is gonna be mediocre, so he looks good. What is this? What is going on here? Can I please have your stuff? I really need it bad. Dude, what is this image, bro? It hasn't even started and you're upset? Come on. You took time out of your day to make this little picture and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be upset. Let's just wait, man. It just started. Phantom. My only complaint is that they made Ultra Gogeta Blue Part 2. I was really hoping to see base Gogeta and Super Gogeta in the Super Broly movie style again. Otherwise, it would have been a 10 out of 10 rather than a 9 out of 10. Broly got done justice. We're packed with content. Not much to nitpick about. I'm the same way. I've said this before, but I think multi-transformation for the Gogeta versus him being an Ultra, fine. But that's a very minor nitpick in my opinion. I still think in terms of just looking at what they presented, how well they develop these characters, what they can do, it's a very home run Part 1. So I still think...
again, we don't know this for sure, but typically when it comes to resources going into these characters to make them, it's always been Ultras were always, we need to, invest the most into them. There's the ink animations, there's the actual card art, which is definitely Ultras have the most intricate card art because it's like a bunch of different assets put together to like kind of make the illusion of the unit it's actually moving around. The models are usually the best. They have very unique strike and blast animations, and just overall, Ultras historically have had the most resources invested into them. And so it takes the most amount of time to make Ultras, which is, again, take a look at last year, 7th Anniversary Part 3. They literally told us this during the reveal of that part, where don't expect this to happen too often because it just takes so much that goes into these Ultras. With this, I think this is actually a reverse. I think it probably took more to make Broly than it did to make Gogeta. When it comes to multi-transforming units, I almost want to say I'm not really expecting a ton of those moving forward, because it almost kind of feels like a synchro gauge situation.
Yeah.
Where we're only really going to see this during big celebrations, that kind of thing. Because you're talking about 3 unique models, 3 unique types of animations. Kit-wise, I mean, let's be realistic. Broly is not super different across his different transformations. It's mostly just animations and stuff. But I think they've got to invest more into this Broly than Gogeta. So in order to make 2 characters like that, I think they kind of were just pressed resource-wise. And that's why they decided to do an Ultra here. I'm spitballing, obviously, but I think even though Ultras typically take more, I would have to imagine Broly is the more resource-intensive character here than Gogeta.
Yeah, they definitely made us wait, but at least they delivered. He looks amazing.
Yep.
I hope they make him Giga busted. Dude, this guy,
yeah, dude.
His unique equip is important.
Oof. I would not be surprised if this guy was like the 3rd best unit in the game or something.
Yeah, I think
they really could make him that good.
Yeah, especially with all these, guard counters and stuff. Actually, what was the hierarchy of that again? It was the gauge counter triggers first, right? Not Broly's no swap?
So that's only if it's a type B counter.
Okay.
Which only really exists on full power Broly. So technically, full power Broly, I think, can actually get past this guy's no switching, but that's going to be not until later in the fight, right?
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking in my head, was this guy leveraged when we had all of the when UG4 was around and all these other characters? But no, I think
the problem with this guy always when he came out right after Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. He was the Broly, because it was Gogeta, Omega, and then it was Broly.
Yeah.
And the problem with Broly is his no switching ability would get countered by Gogeta's gauge even from standby. So it was very tough to use this guy's ability.
Yeah. So this guy could be impactful. I mean, we already feel it. We see a lot of like yellow, yellow, blue, or we still see Bardock everywhere. So this could be the kind of character that pushes a change in the meta. We'll have to see.
This is them saying, get Namek Goku out.
Yeah, 100%. Damn, this guy's really for him. Him and Gogeta, like the dude, 100% damage done to standby. Oh my god. You do a drop combo on any yellow character, like 15 million damage.
And you know what else? There's no way we're leaving this anniversary without a Legend Red too. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that that's still open there, but we'll have to see what part 2 has. Mr. Bone, honestly, I hoped it was unpredictable and that it wasn't an Ultra, but I'm glad everyone else got what they wanted, since you can't win every year. Yeah, you know what? He brings up a good point. Would you say them switching up the rarity to include an Ultra is worthy of being called unpredictable? I feel like the picks as well as that kind of fell in the realm of we kind of saw it, but it was still awesome.
I think it was a bunch of I think it's a bunch of things. It's the type of content we have. It's the fact that, I mean, we didn't know really what to expect because this is our first major celebration with the Legend rarity.
Yeah.
So, I think most people, including myself, thought it was going to be double Legend first. The fact that we have the first multi-transformation characters. There's a lot of new things here. I mean, guard counters we've never seen before. So there's a lot of, I would say there's a lot of unpredictable things here.
Yeah, that's true. Snaf. Really cool reveal, and the new mechanics seem strong. I hate auto counters, though. But it's still cool and will make the character relevant for a while, so I'm happy. The animation, though. Oh my god. That Gogeta's active gauge is straight up fiction. really happy with the plat for Red Broly. Yeah, I'm not particularly fond of auto counters either, but the one that concerns me is Broly removes his blue card seal. One thing I used to do when it came to Ultra Majin Vegeta was I used to count on blue card sealing, so Red Shin. You would just use a blast card, trigger the auto counter, and he couldn't do anything because his blue cards were sealed. But Broly removes those. So he's self-sufficient in that he's able to get his own blue with the key he needs, and then you can't even seal up the blue card, so you just have to take the hit. That I'm not particularly happy about. They made it an auto counter with very little counterplay. Like even with Buhan, if you really cared, you can go from the Xenoverse 2 Trunks, swap out to somebody, and then trigger his auto counter, and he couldn't hit you back because you sealed the blue. But now, this is the first auto counter with the blue card seal removal. I don't know. What are you going to do? You just have to sponge the hit now.
Yeah, or you try and go for like a kick into an overdrive. I mean, there's ways around it, but it's forcing you to play without using blaster strikes is very annoying.
It's very thread the needle now. You had options before, but the amount of options you have now have just become smaller.
Yeah, I mean, the legend action kind of lets you play around a little bit too. Like I've experienced this with Rose and Buhan. Like if I'm fighting Buhan, I'm using Rose. Like you have to be really, really careful as the Buhan player about getting legend action into a like you're just gonna die. Like sometimes the legend action will just do so much damage to you without even comboing the blue into it too, just because of the element stuff.
I wonder if we're gonna see more characters that reduce ki, so you can't just start holding down into the overdrive as quickly, so you can just be legend action all the time. I could see that.
Yeah, maybe.
Hashi, hell yeah, but the first tag switch is insane. But oh my god, man, this was fire. I think everything was perfect. Tons of events, more ways to get CC, 2 plats, 2 Zankais, pity, revamp, new mechanics, and the animations. Holy. I love Broly's animation just right before the LF. Gogeta Blue with the saucy intro in green. For me, this seems like the best part 1 of all time. Yeah, it's a super strong part 1, no doubt. I'm just glad they redeemed themselves from the part 1 last year. Super anniversary. 7.
Honestly, just I even said this at the beginning of my reaction, just like waiting for the thing to start. I'm like, it just feels good going into an anniversary, not knowing exactly what we're gonna get.
That is true, yeah. Oh, dude, we're not the only ones. It's funny to me how much better the camera work is in Legends compared to Sparking Zero. So you get it. It's one of those things that is not easy to appreciate because it can just go. You kind of just take it for what it is, right? But when you see how they evolve the camera work for these new animations, you come to realize like they're really upping their game. We went from 1 to 2 little camera cuts to static shots to now we got sweeping camera cuts. We got camera cuts, following the enemy animation. Like look at Ultra Full Power Frieza. That guy's green card where he's doing spins with the character, and you just see how the camera follows the curve of the enemy model while he throws him overhead. It's stuff like that. Camera work can really sell how much power is behind a move, and Broly's is the best example of that. Even something as simple as Broly's character model, it stretches in a unique way to kind of show how violent Broly's movement is, and somehow Legends pulled it off. He doesn't feel static. There's like stretching, the mesh is moving. He feels as ferocious as the movie presented him. And that's why I just think they did such a good job, because it's believable. This feels like Broly. This looks like Broly. He's not just some big hunking mass that's static. This is a guy that violently and ferociously moves around, slams people around, stomps on their head, and just rips everything. Like I'm sold on how good this guy looks, and that's why I'm saying it's such a powerful part 1. They just nailed the presentation of the characters, right?
Broly's, I think my favorite animation is actually probably his transformation into Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
because that's an animation that we've never seen, right? Because we don't have a Fury into Super Saiyan Broly. We've only ever had the Super Saiyan into full power version. That was the OG purple one.
Yeah.
That's an animation we've just been waiting for a long time to see, and I think they nailed it. It looks really, really good.
It's all so good. The one thing I look forward to, though, is So the Legends action, when you stomping them on the ground, I wonder how that looks with much larger characters. Like CMZ, is his foot gonna clip through his head? Like, I'm curious to see how that guy ends up looking. Yeah, how's his arm gonna fit in all this? I'm sure they figured it out.
Or just another Broly, like your opponent's Broly.
Yeah. At this point, I want buffs more than new characters. Ultra Vegeta Blue Plat more likely now. I've been saving my 1k Ultra Z power for either of them, but now we got double Ultra Gogeta Blue. You know, speaking of...
Yeah. Would they do 2 Ultra Red Fusion Warriors?
No, I don't think so. Earliest we would see that it has to be fast. But he brings up something interesting. Z power. At what point do we start shifting to Legend Z power, right? Like, if this is simply meant to replace LFs, like, why are they still giving us LF Z power? Let's move on now.
I mean, we have Ultra Z power in the game. I think eventually we'll I think hopefully by the end of this year, and this is what I've been saying since they introduced Legend Rarity, I think by the end of the year we will see some kind of Legend Z power in the game. I think
Obviously this is just wishful thinking, but if they provided a one-to-one conversion for people, like, okay, if you want to exchange your already existing 100 LFZ power to Legend power, we're going to give you that option. I think that's totally fine. Like, obviously some people will still want to give it to their LFs. Like, what if Red Broly, Yellow Goku Black, what if they end up being like top 5, you want to star them up? That's fine. But you know, even for some Legends, I think it's worth doing, worth providing rather. Sweet baby Jesus, it's so good. Excited for Broly in particular. Couldn't think of anyone better to be the first multi-transforming character in this game. Gogeta shocked me. I didn't think we'd get another Ultra Rarity of this guy, but I'm not complaining. When I heard it's futile, I got chills. You got chills. I got PTSD. Because people are forgetting this. This guy killed an entire class of unit type. He destroyed range characters altogether. Forget greens. No one was going to use a range character. You saw a range, you're like, oh, God, here we go. It's like that football meme when the guy's taking his headset off. You're like, oh, God damn it. He's ranged. He's cooked. Imagine
that was like... That was the meme with Vegeta and Trunks, is because like Vegeta and Trunks, they were imagining them as being like, okay, they're the check to Gogeta Blue, because they released right before him. They're yellow, and it's like, well, unfortunately, they are ranged, and they only draw blasts.
He got fried so bad. So my hope is that we don't have to deal with that PTSD. It's going to be hard to gauge these characters because the guard action, it just adds a new layer of fighting. I don't know if it KOs the enemy. That's a big one I'm wondering. And then for Gogeta, I'm scared because his guard action infinitely generates greens. That sounds awful if you ask me. That's some scary stuff. Infinitely generates them, and he can very quickly fill up that unique gauge over and over again. Oof, man. They knew what was coming. That's why they made Rose as powerful as he is, because they're like, oh, he's gonna need a lot of tools in his kit to deal with this crap. Let's see. I want to find some other opinions, because most people are agreeing. Strong picks. Gogeta maybe should have been a Legend and Broly the Ultra instead. I'm curious what else people are thinking. I don't know what can top this. If there's an Ultra Spirit Bomb Goku, though. Yes, this is a great segue. What would the Ultra be to compare to this?
Well, I mean, it depends on what the format you think is going to be. Do we think there's going to be an Ultra in Part 2? Do we think, what do we think is going to change here? I am leaning towards Part 2 being Double Legend.
Yep.
And then Part 3 being another Ultra plus Legend.
I think so too. And my original prediction, I know you said this first. You're like, I don't really know if people are going to like that, but Mini Super Saiyan 4 and Legend Goma, I think, for Part 3. I know, head scratcher, but they... Two Daima...
You mean Ultra Mini Super Saiyan 4?
Yeah. Listen, two Daima celebrations giving us everything but the first iteration of the new form, and the antagonist is too suspicious to not be saved for something big. Let's be honest here. Don't you think?
I'm gonna veto that. I'm gonna say that's
dude,
more of a Part
what else
2,
could it be? Don't say Ultra MUI. Don't say it. Please don't.
Well, I think Part 2 is likely to be Daima. Just Double Legend.
Okay.
I mean, that's to me, that's the likely outcome here. Okay, if now they are comfortable with just redoing ultras. I mean, this is the first time we've seen them do this. A summonable ultra that just gets a part 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
They could do Beast. They could do Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. They could do anything.
Another Gogeta?
I think I'm looking at, okay, because we got to get some kind of platinum equipment, right?
Yeah.
I think we could get a platinum for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Like, are they gonna give the old Gogeta Blue a platinum? Even though we just got this one?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they'd do that. You know how nuts that would be? Though? You know how many auto counters in one celebration, we bought 3 of these back?
It's gonna be tough. Like, I don't know what they do, because we have three picks here. It's Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Blue Gogeta, or Vegito Blue, right? Those are the realistic options. I don't think they're gonna go with Beast. Those are the realistic options. What do they do?
That's why my Daima theory works so good, because Janemba gets a plat and he has the pointy ears. Going back to Daima's lore.
It's got to be a major celebration ultra. That's what we've seen.
They've used them up. There's no way they're not gonna give it to like a Fusion Warrior or anything. And look at the list, right? Janemba's the one who sticks out the most.
If they do an ultra from Daima, I think it's got to be Adult Super Saiyan 4. So I think I don't really know who it would be outside of UI. Ultra UI Goku Legend Jiren Part 3 is probably what I think is gonna happen now.
Oh my god, no, dude, the universe has not spoken words worse than that. Ultra MUI Goku. Oh.
Yep. And Legend Jiren Part 3. Universe Reps finally back in action.
They have to make him yellow then so I can nuke him out with the active skill. That's the only way I would tolerate it. That sounds awful though. What about, would you consider a Spirit Bomb Ultra? Do you think that's good enough?
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. So what it would be, it would be Ultra Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah.
Who does a Spirit Bomb.
Yeah.
And then Legend Kid Buu. I don't know. But I feel like we just had, like, the Ultra just got a platinum is like insanely good. Would they do Kid Buu?
I don't think they would do Kid Buu. What if they went with like a Legend? Would they Z-Star
Don't say Ultimate Gohan.
Z-Star Gohan.
No.
They love Gohan.
No, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, they would. Come on. Dude, when I was doing my react for the reveal, somebody said Ultimate Gohan was an industry plant LF. He had a point, man. They somehow just squished him in there. They could do it here. Z-Sword Gohan.
I feel like it's got to be. It's got to be Kid Buu. If they do Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku, it's got to be Legend Kid Buu.
I don't know. Well, I mean, you know what? Now that if there's 2 Ultra Gogeta Blues, anything is possible. So yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I think so. I agree. Supporter easily could be the "You are number one" speech. Easy.
Yeah, that's
I would that Bergamo yapping supporter for "You are number one." I take it. Oh, I've never seen such a kind-hearted saying. You know, I'll take it. That would be the only time I'd be fine with the yapping supporter.
They have to give Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku the bite animation that he does against Kid Buu.
That'd be great.
What green card?
Or it's like an auto counter. You attack him, he just bites you. Boss Maker, strongest part 1 in the game, having a multi-transforming Broly and a new Ultra Gogeta Blue to start off this anniversary's hype. I was hoping the original Ultra Gogeta Blue would get his plat equip, but I hope Z Broly and Goku Blacks will be very good. I think the same. I said the same to GORESH as well. I hate summoning in this game. Believe it or not, we kind of hate it too. When it's 2 in the morning and you're getting shafted and 55 minutes have passed, what more do you talk about?
Yeah,
that's really the issue. Personally, as amazing as this part 1 is, my most unlikable part is the summoning aspect, because you're summoning for not only a legend unit but an ultra as well. They changed the drop system, but I still know it's going to be hell. Pretty sure you would feel it as well. I guess the only redeeming aspect of this is them being more forgiving in the pity, but otherwise I do agree. It is harder to pull, an ultra alongside the legend, but it's the it's the nature of these games. They at least provided a little bit more generosity with the Chrono Crystal count and the pity system. So hopefully it doesn't get that bad for anyone. But yeah, I mean, what more can you do? We kind of know this is the kind of the game that we're in, right? It's just one of those unfortunate realities of it.
Yeah.
Toss up between this and the 6. Terrified of what looks like an AoE on both transformations of Broly. Auto counter AoE chainable with the blue. It's not like an AoE green where you have priority. It's a counter that locks that sends you back long range that you can chain with the blue. The only problem is Broly gets his blue. That's really the big issue here. He's gonna get that blue card. Paragus is a paralysis merchant. It will be fun to play against. I was secretly hoping Paragus was going to be like our year's Red Pan. I think 1%.
In the reveal, I was like, oh, finally we get a playable Paragus. I hope he's broken. And then I saw that they're like, oh, we're leveraging paralysis for Paragus. Now I hope he sucks.
Yeah, I was... See, 1% characters age the best when they're structured around supporting the team. Ku, Red Pan, support Goku. Like, every time you think of a character that has aged beautifully, it always ties back to support. So if they're going to do it for a 1%, I think being the glue for some other powerful characters works great. Otherwise, they have to
Paragus does support, but you have to have a Broly on the team, right? So they want you to run with Broly, obviously.
Yeah, but usually they have to tie it to some like baloney gimmick to make sure they don't die in one hit. And if Paragus is his paralysis, yeah, yay! I can't wait. That's gonna be so fun. You know for a fact that they reworked paralysis for this guy because he gets.
Yeah, well, they didn't want it to be Majin Buu 2.0.
Yeah, you getting constantly refreshing endurance null every time the opponent gets paralyzed is ridiculous, but.
Well, dude, he draws a blue when you use a blue when the opponent is paralyzed. Yeah. So you just wait for them to get paralyzed, use the blue, and then you just do it again.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I think the blue has a chance to inflict paralysis again, right?
He's like, he gets like endurance null if they're paralyzed. Like, it's just nonsense.
Yeah, it's gonna be really finicky, but yeah, 1% characters that align more on the support role typically do a little bit better. I think this is in contention for best unit selection for an anniversary part 1. Okay. I was okay until the guard actions are glorified counters. I agree. You can now start hoping for a legend Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the fight against Fat Boo. So the interesting thing about this is the way they went about triggering multiple transformations. I guess the easiest way for them was to do it via a unique gauge. I'm curious if they plan on changing that in the future, because I don't want it to be that every multi-transforming character has to hinge on a reaction event occurring on an auto counter. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But I don't think it's going to be that way. I think it's just going to be per character. Yeah, but there's a lot of characters that have multiple transformations. I'm thinking about what Cell's going to look like, what Frieza's going to look like, Goku up to Super Saiyan 3. I mean, there's so many cool characters for this. This opens the doors to a lot of cool things. But like you said earlier, it takes so much work. 9 illustrations, 3 character models, 3 strike movesets, 3 blast movesets, 3 different... It's so much work. They will only save it for a major celebration, 100%. So yeah. So part 2 maybe, or the Ultra. Who knows? Who knows? Let's see. I just want to make sure we get a bunch of different opinions. So far, everyone is praising it, but I'm curious if anyone has a major criticism. Bro, if this is part 1, what the hell is part 3? Who knows? Who knows? They finally woke up when it comes to the amount of content that should be there during celebrations. I agree. I don't like Ultras, but we'll still summon because of Gogeta. Also, I think it's kind of lame that they did another standalone Gogeta Blue. Broly should have been the Ultra. I agree. Yeah, switch the rarities around. Top 6th anniversary. Yeah, I think people are in agreement. It's just a fantastic part 1. Great choices. You could argue the rarities could have been flipped, and the nature of summoning for Ultras is that it may be a little bit difficult and CC intensive, but otherwise I think everyone's pretty happy.
Yeah, the guy with the Gogeta Blue profile picture liked this part 1.
Greatest part one of the anniversary of this game's history. Yeah. Yep. I was actually hoping this guy would say it totally sucks because he has the Vegito photo, but
And then when Vegito gets his platinum equipment, he's gonna be like, never mind, it's actually really good.
absolutely. Oh, this is a good one. Only downside is no unique clash animation between the main units. I agree. This is...
I actually thought when I was doing my reaction, I thought the Stardust fall was a clash.
Yeah, I was confused too.
Yeah, because like I was like, what's going on? There's just so much going on the screen. Like I thought it was because that was kind of how I felt when I first saw the Vegito and Buhan clash.
Yeah.
Like no one knew what that was. Like it was just so much going on. And then they revealed it was a clash. I thought that was I thought that was the same thing that was happening with the Stardust fall, and that was like the Gogeta won the clash animation.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I think you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they just forgot they have it. These guys do so many things. There's so much going on. I wouldn't be shocked if they're like, "Ah, crap, we forgot. We forgot to do that." Or that simply means they wanted to hold on to that one super unique thing to maybe a part 2 character or a part 3. Maybe they wanted it to be like, we're going to distribute this around. Okay, we'll give this one an active skill, multi-transforming. Part 2 will give unique strike clashes and so and so. Maybe it's something like that. They're trying to spread around what the cool stuff is. But I do agree. Missed opportunity for a unique strike clash, especially against these two. There's no excuse outside of them wanting to save it. 6 was still better, but top tier for sure. Yeah, because he's biased against Fusion Warriors reported. There's no Guild War. I found that surprising, by the way. They didn't announce a Guild War for this.
I think that's only for Festival. I think.
Yeah, but why?
I don't know.
But yeah, overall, I think everyone's in agreement. This is a fantastic part 1. Rarities could have been flipped. CC may be a little bit lacking overall, but yeah, everyone's happy. So, okay, we reached to the bottom. You guys, if I missed any of your inputs, let me know in the comment section below. I'll take a quick read. But otherwise, I'm glad everyone is hyped for this anniversary. Do you have any closing words?
I'm also hyped for this anniversary. And I'm getting the feeling like this. The only time I've really felt like this for part 1 is the 6th anniversary.
Yeah,
This is like it is kind of like a part 3 feeling that I have right now. It's like this is like it's very hard to top this, which again is typically something we only feel for part 3. So I'm excited for the rest of this. This anniversary is going to be pretty crazy.
the fact that they opened up with this much just makes you curious how part 2 and the finale is going to be, because it's such a good part 1 that it makes you excited for the now and makes you excited for the rest of the celebration. But this ties back to what we said before. The part 1 sets the tone for the whole celebration. Even if part 2 and part 3 redeem itself, how they opened it up is just, it's a feeling that lingers. And because they nailed this one and they went out with a home run, we feel good about it. So part 2, part 3, who knows what's going to happen, but we're optimistic, and that's what matters most. So best of luck on everyone summoning. Be sure to check out link in the description box down below, Goresh's part as well. I'm sure his community has their own thoughts on this as well, and we're very curious to see what they got to say. But until then, peace out, guys.